Hey Taurus, welcome to my channel, welcome to my space. This is Earthchild Tarot. This is going to be a timeless message for your shadow work, your shadow self, okay? Dark moon energy, right? I'm trying to get all these posted before Scorpio season, okay? Because Scorpio season, I can already feel it. It is very intense energy. We have an eclipse, I believe it's a partial solar eclipse in Scorpio on the 25th. Major transformative energies coming up. Scorpio is profound in that, in transformation, okay? So Taurus, this is for all signs of Taurus regarding your shadow self and the shadow work that you need to do. There are wounds and past hurts that you carry with you, whether you know that or not, whether you talk about it or not. There are maybe certain things that you project onto others, whether you are aware of that or not, because of those wounds. And these are wounds or parts of ourselves that we repress, and we may not be very honest about how that part of our lives or that part of ourselves is affecting our relationships with other people and how it's affecting us. So we're going to pull 3 cards from the tarot deck. We're going to clarify those cards, and then we're going to pull oracle messages towards the end. The tarot decks and the oracle decks that I'm using will be in the description box below. If you're ever interested in the cards that I use, I'm trying to get better at that. So let's go ahead and jump into it, Taurus, for your shadow work and shadow selves. Your shadow self, should I say. And what it's speaking to you about, what it's bringing forth, what you may be projecting because of that energy, okay, Taurus? And how it's affecting your connection with others, how it's affecting your career even, how it's affecting your money, okay? Because I see the ego as being our shadow selves. It's that part of ourselves that needs a vessel. It needs energy to play off of in order to exist and thrive. And it's that voice inside of our heads, that shadow part of ourselves. And sometimes it's that voice in our head that tells us we're not enough. And it tells us, it's a full-time job for our shadow selves to tell us, to tell us those things sometimes. And a lot of the time in our day and age, Taurus, we don't really want to face our shadow selves, because it makes us look ugly on the inside. But that's just who we are. The light and the dark are a part of each other. So your shadow is always going to be there, okay? You just have to learn how to face it. And in our day and age, we don't want to face the shadow. We want to run away from it. We want to make sure that our social media accounts are all about unicorns and rainbows and how amazing life is, which life is amazing, but it's not amazing only because of the lighter aspects of it. It's amazing because of the darker aspects of it too. And that's what we're going to talk about today, Taurus, okay? So universe, source, archangels, ancestors, spirit guides, gods, goddesses, earth spirits, earth guides, please come before us and speak through me clearly to all signs of Taurus for their shadow work. So Taurus, the first card out that we're going to choose is regarding what you are repressing in your life at this time. What are my beautiful Tauruses repressing, spirit guides? Universe source, what is Taurus repressing in their lives? Three of Pentacles. So I see this as, that's earth energy. This is commitment, committing to a project, committing to relationships, committing to a team effort. I do see the Three of Pentacles as commitment. No matter how difficult things may become within that project or within that relationship, it's being steadfast and fervent and determined to learn and to improve your skill, to improve your communication, to improve your commitment to this person, this place, or this thing. Now, we're talking about what you're repressing here. So when I see the Three of Pentacles, you have a hard time with commitment, Taurus. You have a hard time with teamwork. You may have your own set of ideals and or ideas, your own set, you have your own perspective about life or about a certain person, place, or thing. And you're not easily swayed from that, whether you like to admit that or not. Okay. Bottom of the deck, you have the Two of Pentacles. Gemini kind of got the same thing at the bottom of the deck on the first card. And Gemini actually ended up getting, because I ended up reading Gemini before you somehow, but maybe there's some similarities with you guys, but Gemini ended up getting the Three of Pentacles in their reading too. So Taurus, you may have a hard time with compromise. Again, whether you are aware of this about yourself or not, whether you admit this or not, whether you talk about this or not, or whether anybody has brought this to your attention or not. And this doesn't have to be in general, okay? This can be in a specific situation where you may actually be trying consciously, you really are trying to make sure that some of you guys are not stubborn, but there may be a certain situation where you may not see that you're kind of carrying some stubbornness with you. You don't really want to see something in a better light, or you don't want to see something in someone else's perspective because you feel that your perspective is the best perspective in this situation, whether you make this known or not. And when I see the Two of Pentacles, because the Two of Pentacles comes before the Three of Pentacles, and it seems like you're needing to go back, take a step back and really understand, okay, you need to readjust or reprioritize something. Are you only keeping your perspective as a priority, or is there a relationship that you're, again, if this is about commitment here, you're juggling someone or something. You're juggling either, if this is about business and a career, you may be juggling one business and another, where you need to really choose one or the other. Others of you, maybe you're spending money on something too much, or too much money on something when you should be spending money on your career or your business. But if this is a relationship, and I don't see this as a Three of Cups, I see this as like, if this is a romantic relationship, but you have a job, and then you also have like your kids or your immediate family, like your mother, your father, sister, brothers, whatever. You may have this triangle, this commitment triangle, okay? Because I see the Three of Cups as more of a love triangle, somewhat. But this is more like a commitment triangle. It's like you love these three things or these three people equally, but it's about how you're committing to each. So if you're married or you have kids, whether you're married or not, or in a relationship or not, there are certain relationships that you need to prioritize here. Or if it's like your family, like your own family, your children, your wife, or your children, your girlfriend, whatever, your boyfriend, your job, and your parents. You know what I mean? It's like, if it's like more like a commitment triangle that you're struggling with, but you're trying to commit to all of it, Taurus, you need to reprioritize that, okay? And that may be very hard for you. You may feel like, well, if I commit to this, maybe your parents don't want you to commit to your marriage or to your significant other, or maybe your significant other they want you to commit to them and the kids, or whatever it is that you're dealing with, or maybe your job or this business you're working for really wants you to commit to that instead of trying to commit to better relationships with your children and your family or whatever, or your friends. Does that make sense? But others of you, this is about stubbornness and not realizing that you have a hard time with teamwork, or either it's a hard time with commitment, or it's a hard time with working on a team and seeing things in a different perspective, allowing someone else to share their ideas or their opinion about something. Okay? So let's pull a second card here regarding what caused this emotion that you're repressing, or what caused this wound that you're repressing, okay? Seven of Pentacles. It's interesting that that wanted to show itself. I'll put that there because that really feels right. More Pentacles here. So, and again, I don't really see this as a wound, really, that you're carrying. It's just like a darker part of yourself that you just have a hard time balancing or letting go of, okay? Because if this is a wound, maybe you feel that, if this is a wound, then you just feel there is someone, maybe in your past, your parents didn't make you feel like they were committing to you. Because I was saying the same thing to Gemini, which is interesting. Maybe your parents, or there was a significant other in your past, an ex, who they were more focused on work, or they were more focused on their family, but they weren't really focused on you. You kind of felt like the third wheel or the second wheel, whatever, right? And maybe that person didn't really choose. They just kept juggling you. And you're kind of carrying that wound for some of you. And you have a hard time committing, or you have a hard time just taking things slow. And that's interesting, Taurus, because your energy is all about taking things slow and relaxing and resting yourself. Maybe it was just a day in and day out competition with your significant other, where you felt like you were always up against others to get your significant other's attention, or your parents' attention. Yeah, because at the bottom of the deck you have the World card, which is Capricorn. Some of you guys were dealing with the Capricorn, but this may have been someone who was in and out. Okay, this could be someone where it was just a cycle. It just kept constantly happening, and this cycle is still happening in your life now, where it's like you just feel like over and over again, no matter what relationship you get yourself into, or no matter how much you try to talk to your husband or your wife about this, no matter how much you try to talk to your boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, you just feel like nobody is really listening to you and really understanding that you need some affection, or you need some love. And the same amount of love that you're giving, you need to be watered, and you need to be cared for. And, you want to grow a healthy relationship, but it just seems like there are those of you have a hard time growing this relationship with someone because they're not really focused on the relationship with you. And maybe others of you, this is, again, maybe you just have a hard time with teamwork. You have a hard time with committing to one thing or another. And you're just constantly trying to water these relationships, or watering these situations. You're trying to nurture a lot of people or a lot of situations, but you end up realizing that you fall short because there's too much going on here. With the World card here too, it's like there's a lot going on in your life, and you maybe deep down inside, maybe your ego feels like, oh no, that's admirable. I have a lot of people that I'm taking care of, or I have a lot of things that I have to tend to. So like, I'm a great person for that. But the universe is like, well, it's kind of counterproductive. Like pick one or the other and focus on that. Don't have a bunch of shit going on, Yeah, we have the Judgment card. So bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Pentacles again, Taurus. Judgment is like seeing things for what it is. That's authenticity. The Judgment card is about waking something up, or it's like a review of a situation or a test, or a review of a chapter. It's like the universe. I see the Judgment card almost like a retrograde. It's like it's going back, looking in the mirror again, and looking at certain imperfections or certain things that you may need to, or going back to a painting, a piece of art that you've been working on, and maybe you finished it at some point, but then you went back to it and you started to see little bitty bits of imperfection that you feel, okay, maybe if I fix this, it'll actually re-perfect this piece, right? So I see the Judgment card, as a review, a retrograde, as you will, if you will, of a situation where you missed the point, or you missed the mark, or you needed to reevaluate something. So there's a situation here that's just constantly happening. It's a loop for you, Taurus, and it may really actually be bothering you. It may actually be causing a lot of inconsistency. It may be causing some strife. It may be causing some frustration and annoyance in your life, maybe even some pain or sorrow. End this cycle. I see that this cycle needs to end here, Taurus. You're juggling too much, or you feel that you're being juggled, or you felt like you were being juggled in the past, so therefore you have a hard time with commitment in relationships because you're afraid that you're going to be juggled again. And some of you guys may have made the decision, you know, I don't want to date, I don't want to be in a relationship, because you don't want to be hurt, you don't want to be juggled. But just remember this, Taurus, anything that you do out of fear, or I don't want to deal with that anymore, sometimes that's fear and you're blocking your blessing. And maybe there is a relationship out there for you that's actually meant to grow you and to help you and to, you know, show you the love that you never, you know, were able to receive from your previous relationship. So some people, like, there's nothing wrong with that, where if you feel like, I just want to be single, I don't want a lot of friends, or I don't want to, you know, deal with this anymore because I've been hurt. That's totally fine. I'm not saying that you have to go out there and date. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, but I just want you to be aware, Taurus, that if you're doing this because of fear of the past repeating itself, you're not doing yourself any favors. But that's up to you, okay? But others of you, like I said, you're doing too much, and you may be doing too much because you want to be admired, and it's because you didn't feel like you were admired in the past. So you're trying to do all of this shit, going to work, working multiple jobs, but also dating, or, you know, getting married, but you have all this work to do. So you can't really focus on your marriage because you're focused on your job. You can't really focus on your kids. You know what I mean? Like, you have a lot of things that you're trying to set up here, but it's too much. You can't commit to all of it equally. Okay? So the last card, we're going to clarify these in a moment. The last card will be, or the last tarot card will be regarding how you can heal from these wounds, Taurus. How can my beautiful Tauruses heal from these wounds they are repressing here, universe source? Also, I feel the throat chakra is very important for you, Taurus. Make sure that you are speaking up. So if there is someone who wants you to commit, but you know that there is a greater commitment, like maybe your marriage, okay? It depends. So if you're in a marriage where you know that you're not really giving the marriage, or maybe if you're just in a committed relationship with someone, but you're not really giving them the time of day, but you're giving your job the time of day, and it's been years that this has been happening, or maybe a couple of years, and you have not spent quality time with your significant other, you might want to tell your job, like, I want to go spend time with my wife or my husband or my boyfriend, girlfriend. I want to go on vacation with my kids, whatever. Use your throat chakra and speak up, okay? If you have a relationship with someone where you're spending more time with them, you're giving them the time of day, but they won't allow you to focus on work because they want your attention, you may need to speak up and let them know, I really want to build a life with you, and I'm trying to go to work to focus on this business to make sure that we're going to be okay in the future. You know what I mean? So make sure you're speaking up here. Ten of Pentacles. You need to really evaluate your commitment here, because the Ten of Pentacles is about commitment. Five of Swords. Yes, there may be some conflict. Standing up against type of bullying attitude, okay? Also, I get the sense, Taurus, if you are the type of person where you may come across as a bully a little bit, maybe that's just how people may see you at times, because you just don't want to, you may put people down for their opinions or what they think about certain things. You may not mean to, you know, you may just feel like, well, that's kind of a stupid opinion, or that doesn't make any logical sense. People might see you as the Five of Swords a little bit. They may see you as like somebody who doesn't play fair. You know, you don't like working on a team. You don't work on a team very well. You have to realize the type of legacy that you're building for yourself, the type of reputation, or the type of, are you leaving a bad taste in someone's mouth? Are you leaving a bad thought or memory of yourself in someone else's mind? When I see the Ten of Pentacles, I feel like this is someone who's leaving a legacy behind. What kind of trail are you leaving behind for yourself to people, Taurus? And others of you, this is about commitment. Someone, you need to go after what you want. You may have a certain judgment about the world or judge, because I also see the Ten of Pentacles as someone who's sitting back and judging their past or judging the world. They've worked very hard to accomplish what they've accomplished and to get the money and the wealth that they truly deserve, but this person may not be 100% happy. Okay? They're still beating themselves up. So some of you guys need to stop beating yourselves up. Go after what you want. If there is someone who's not setting you as a priority over their job or over their family or over their siblings or over their parents, and they don't want to commit to you, then you have to move on. You have to move on. The fighting, right? You may get into nasty fights with this person, but it's not going to help. This person may not see themselves, so you may just have to let it go and just be like, all right, if you don't want to commit to me, then I'm going to commit to myself. I'm going to do the work, right, to create a life of my own. Let's clarify the Three of Pentacles for you guys, Taurus. Clarify the Three of Pentacles for my beautiful Taurus people here for their shadow work and shadow selves. Nine of Swords, there we go. Having a lot of anxiety and fear. Some of you guys may be having some weird ass dreams because of this fear that you have. Especially fear of commitment, fear of someone getting upset with you if you take away your commitment from them to focus on something that's more, that needs your attention. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords, right? So you're just caught up in your own head, Taurus, about this. Like, there's not much thinking that you need to do. You're not stuck in this job. Some of you guys, this is a job where you just have a really hard time. You're stubborn and you just stick with something without realizing that you don't have to stay stuck. Some of you guys may feel like, I need to keep this job. I can't leave this job because I need money and da-da-da-da-da. And you may get upset when someone says, well, maybe you should just leave. Or maybe you should, you may not be open to advice because you feel like, I can't do these things because of A, B, C, or D. And they may be good reasons, but this could be the universe telling you, you need to leave that job. You need to leave that relationship, or you need to reprioritize your commitment here to a certain person, place, or thing. Some of you guys, if you guys have a hard time with teamwork, and you may come across as if you don't want to listen to nobody, or deep down inside you may be scared of something, and that's why you have this exterior of can't nobody tell me what to do. Maybe you're afraid of being led. You're afraid of going into that student mentality of wanting to learn more, because you're afraid that if you step out of your comfort zone and learn more, that you'll be led in the wrong direction. You're keeping your own self back, Taurus. Let's go ahead and clarify the Seven of Pentacles here. Clarify the Seven of Pentacles for my beautiful Taurus people. Clarify the Seven of Pentacles. Nine of Cups. This is your independence, your wish fulfillment here. Being happy on your own, nurturing yourself. There are those of you, you need to just go love yourself. If there's someone that you've been wanting to go on vacation with, you've been wanting to spend quality time with them, and they just won't give you the time of day because they're focused on something else, go do it by yourself. You want to go to that vacation? Go on that vacation by yourself. They don't got to go with you. Don't get stuck in your head like, oh, if I go on this vacation, they're going to be mad at me and think that I'm not being fair. They're not being fair. If they're not committing to you, then go commit to yourself. Go with a friend. right? Some of you guys may have really good friends, and you may have a parent or a significant other who makes you feel like, oh, so you're going to go hang out with them, but not with me. But this person may be very selfish themselves, right? Yeah, you got the Star card. Some of you guys are dealing with an Aquarius here. Others of you, this just means like it's time for a new chapter. It's time for you to go out and do things that you haven't done in a very long time. Because there is someone here, or maybe a job. Maybe there's a job that keeps you from going out. They want you to commit to work, but they don't want you to go on vacation. They don't give you the time off. You may have to leave that job and be like, you know what, I'm going to go find a job that's actually going to let me go on vacation when I need to. A job that's going to treat you fairly, that's going to, you know, maybe give you weekends off. Some of you guys may need certain days off at work, and maybe the job that you're working at, they won't give you any of those days off. They do whatever they want. They don't respect you, okay? You may have to change that up. Let's clarify the Ten of Pentacles, guys, for how you can heal from these wounds. But that's what you're faced with in your shadow self, in your shadow work, Taurus. You're faced with commitment. Whether it's learning how to commit to a relationship better, and letting go of certain commitments that are actually keeping you from people or things that are very important to you, or learning to commit to yourself for once. Because you may have a tendency, Taurus, to commit to romantic partnerships or marriage, especially if you have children. Like you know, you just give yourself to that, and you nurture your home and your. Some of you guys just want to be able to just be free to nurture your home and be able to nurture a relationship without feeling depleted. Ace of Cups. Clarifying the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles here is actually more of a positive, because I know a lot of people see the Ten of Pentacles as a positive card, which it is, but it also, in the traditional tarot, there's a sense of, you know, negativity to that too. But I see this for you is very positive. You need to go fill your own cup for the first time in a long time for some of you. Stop committing. You're not going to get a Scooby snack, or you're not going to get a trophy for committing to multiple things, or to committing to a relationship that's not committing to you either, or as well. You're not going to be rewarded for that. Other people may make you feel like, oh my gosh, you're so good to this person, you know, you make this person a better person, you know, you make them, you know, but that's not your job, Taurus. That's that person's job to be better. It's not your responsibility. So if you're in a relationship that's a bit toxic, where a person expects you to keep them in line, but they expect you to babysit them, but they don't want to nurture you. Got the Star card again. New chapter, new house, new relationship, whatever, right? New relationship cycle. So you may need to let go of somebody for a little bit or permanently so that you can focus on yourself. This can also be a relationship transforming for you, but Taurus, stop committing to people or things or places that will not show you respect in return, okay? So let's go ahead and get into your oracle messages, Taurus. I'm going to read this one to you. This is just your oracle messages of advice regarding your shadow work, Taurus. All signs of Taurus, spirit guides, regarding their shadow work and their shadow selves. For the sign of Taurus, spirit guides, we thank you for Taurus, for their shadow work. Oh, wow. You have nurturing. Look at that. What was I just saying? You need to nurture yourself. I love it. I absolutely love it. You need to nurture yourself, Taurus. Again, you will not be rewarded. I don't care Because I've been there where people say, oh, you're making this person, you know, we're so glad that you're with this person, or that you're friends with this person, or that you're keeping this person in line. After a while, I was all like, it's not my responsibility anymore. That's their responsibility now. I'm not doing this person any favors. So sometimes we can give ourselves a badge of honor for nurturing toxic relationships. And I'm not saying that toxic behavior in a relationship means that it's set up to fail. It's not what I'm saying. If there's some toxic behavior in your relationship, if you're in a committed relationship, you need to have a conversation with that person. Pull yourself away. Do not entertain that toxic behavior, and do not continue to nurture that toxic behavior, right? You're not doing that person any favors by giving them what they want, because they're just going to stay the way they are. So if you pull yourself back, Taurus, and you give that person space to get their shit together, you'll see whether that relation was set up to fail or not. Because if you pull yourself back and that person starts to change for the better, and they start respecting you and getting their lives together, and they start realizing on their own that they have been toxic towards you, and your relationship grows from there, then that's your answer. But if you pull yourself back and this person gets worse, or they choose to blame you and make you feel bad for pulling yourself back and loving yourself, then that relationship probably wasn't meant to last anyway. Okay, so that's what I would say to look out for. I'm not here to tell anybody to stay in a relationship or to leave, unless you're getting hit on, you're getting beaten, or you're being abused, or someone is getting abused physically or what have you. Then get out of that relationship. But at the end of the day, it's all up to you guys. I'm not here to tell y'all what to do. I'm just here to guide you as best I can, and you decide what to do from there. But we have nurturing, and it says, that which you feed will continue to sit at your table. That which you feed will continue to sit at your table. Make sure that you are encouraging and nurturing only the qualities, circumstances, and kinds of people you want to see perpetually appear in your life. Like I said, Taurus, stop nurturing toxic behavior and toxic people. You don't want this person in your life. You don't want them eating at your table that you've worked so hard to set up. Quit talking to them. Quit nurturing them. Stop babying them. Stop giving them what they want. Tell them to go somewhere with their toxic behavior. Tell them to focus on themselves and to start respecting you more. Tell them to stop expecting so much from you but not expecting anything of themselves. Okay? Last but not least, Taurus. One more card. These, I think I said in the beginning of the video that these tarot and oracle decks will be in the description box below. The names of them will be, and if you're interested in them, they'll be there. If you're interested in purchasing them or using them in the future. For those of you who are interested in that, Taurus. One more card for Taurus and their shadow work. Ooh, there we go. Anger. Let go of anger, Taurus. Also, don't be afraid of a person's anger. If a person is angry that you're letting them go because you're focusing on yourself, so what? People get angry. People get upset. If you keep holding on to this relationship, you will be the one living in anger. And you won't have anyone else to blame but yourself. Death card. Transformation. Something is ending for you, either in your spirit, in your perspective on life, or within a relationship, or a relationship is ending. Bottom of the deck, you have fear. Let it go, Taurus. Let go of that fear. If there's someone who's expecting you to take care of them, but they don't want to take care of you, unless they're your children, different story. If they're not your children, they can go somewhere. Okay? You deserve better than that. For those of you who are dealing with toxic relationships. Okay? Much love and light to all of you, Taurus. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye, guys.